Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrible General Health System's Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time Sports. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. And we are always glad to get an update from the ninth year head football coach at Nicholls State University, Tim Rebowe. Coach, welcome back to the show.
Hey, Keith, how we doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Doing great, doing great. We appreciate it. I know things are going well. I know you guys are busy. I kind of wanted to just chat with you a little bit about what we found out. I know going 3-3 in the conference last season, maybe some of those things that we take away from those things last year.
Yeah, obviously, the season did not go how we wanted it to go. Expectations were a lot higher. And then after when you finish that, you really have to do an evaluation of your program. And there were some areas that we were very, very disappointed in. You know, you looked at the schedule, and first time we had a losing season record in 5 seasons. So then you say, okay, well, we're 3-3. We lost some close games. We could have easily been 5-1, but some of the other games could have gone the other way as well. So we looked at it hard. We were not very good at certain positions. One of the things that we had struggled to score some points, and we looked at the turnovers. You know, we were not very good at the takeaways from the other team, and we gave the other teams too many opportunities. You know, give them the ball in good field position. So those were some of the things that we had to address. What we had to do. Sometimes you look at, you try to, make a step forward and you try to change some things. And maybe some of the things that we changed last year was not good. You try not to be stagnant. You try not to be stale. You're always trying to evolve. We tell our players that all the time. But sometimes you just got to go back to the things that you've done, you've had success with. And that's what we look, moving forward in January.
Yeah, some really good points, Coach. I got to tell you, especially for somebody who has had years of very explosive offense, where we've had those times when we've scored very well. But again, it goes back to that personnel and, different players at different positions that we can do that with. And then again, turnovers is one of those things I know as a head football coach, it's just one of those things we've got to fix.
Well, when you talk about doing the things you're supposed to do, we were explosive at times in the previous years, and uh, we as a coach always think, hey, we ran the football, and then we break some big runs, and we had some explosive receivers. We didn't have that last year, and so sometimes you can't put that round peg into a square hole. You have to try to, you can't do what you've always done, and then sometimes also you got to think more players. The old coaching adage, sometimes think more players than plays, and we got to be able to do that. And I've been on some teams in the past that the turnovers were coming just in droves. You were getting them and being very fortunate in the right place at the right time. But we had some big times last year where we gave up the ball, gave up interceptions that turned to points in critical times in the game, and that really, really hurt us. So that's one of the things, though, we constantly work on. We always try to work on also being one of the least penalized teams in the league, because there's a lot of hidden yardage in those. Not only in a kicking game, we talk about that too, but in the game as far as penalties goes.
Right, right. Moving forward, looking at the spring a little bit, tell me what your perspective was coming in through the spring and what kind of you saw back then that kind of led towards where we're seeing things now.
Well, you always look forward to trying to, you're going to lose a group of seniors, and then you're going to try to replace them with a big signing class or a good signing class. And last year we happened to have a big one. We had 27 new additions to the roster in January. We had a couple of, I looked at it the other day. We had junior college and transfer players joining the program, and 6 of the 8 were very, very fortunate to come to us in January. And one of the big positions that we need was a quarterback. We addressed that, and that's where Pat McQuaid came over from Mississippi Gulf Coast. And just having those guys be able to go through spring ball is a big, big advantage. Get to learn the system and know the players and go through that off-season program. So that was a huge spot for us. Every year we address. I mean, we're always going to need linemen on both sides of the ball and try to get the best skilled players available. And we thought we had some guys that we addressed that need. So we felt like we had a pretty good spring practice.
Oh, fantastic. I tell you, it's awfully exciting to be able to see that transition where you got your seniors that are leaving, and then you've got to be able to fill some of those gaps. Quarterback being one of those, and having them in early, really getting them introduced to what you do as a head ball coach, what the offense is like, and personnel.
Yeah, you can't do it enough. You get to learn the terminology. They get to learn each other, even how they act in that locker room. We talk about that too. That's such a big part of the chemistry of all the guys in that locker room off the football field. And then you throw in the summer where you have all your freshmen that are coming for the first time. You can't emphasize how important that is to have those guys all working together, all trying to get on the same page. And then, those guys go out, Keith, they go out on their own, after spring ball. And then the summer, they go and throw, they go and work out, they go and run, they go and do those things. So it was big to get those guys in here early in the spring. We thought Pat came in and really did a good job because we also feel like, we have some players coming back from last year, a bunch of skilled guys, running back position, and the guys on defense that can run.
Yeah, and again, one of those things, just really being able to find that chemistry. And I know coaches talk about it all the time, really trying to find that chemistry. I love the fact that we've had some time to be able to do that, getting used to that system, getting used to those players as we're moving forward. So, Coach, if it's all right with you, we're going to take a quick break, kind of maybe look at some of the things that you guys were able to do, and maybe some of the things we had to do a little differently with the heat of this summer, getting ready for this ball that we're looking at in the fall. Can't wait for some fall weather, but certainly always looking forward to fall football when it comes to Nicholls State University. Coach, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back on Bayou Time right here on Bayou Sports.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrible General Health Systems Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time Sports. I'm your host, Keith Weissite. Thanks so much for joining us. Very glad to have with us, again, head football coach at Nicholls State University, Coach Tim Rebowe. Coach, thanks again for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it's all good. I always love to come on and try to spread the word about Nicholls football.
Yeah, look, one of those things is we want to let people know that we've got season tickets available. And, for me and for the years that I've spent, very glad to be an alumni of Nicholls State University. I was glad to be on the sideline there as a cheerleader, cheering on our Nicholls State Colonels for years, but also letting people know that season tickets are available. And it's one heck of an evening or an afternoon to come and spend some time watching football over at Nicholls State University.
Yeah, I think, listen, sometimes we lose sight of the fact that we have a Division I college football team right in our area. And we have so many fans that support us, but we're always looking for more to come out. We try hard, all sports, to try to put a good product on the field that'll make everyone proud. Alumni like yourself, willing to talk about the program, wanting to come back and see us. And we're fortunate. We play 5 home football games. And we always joke about the seasons here, and before you know it, it's going to be over. So we have some good big-time college football, some good games here. I think our department does a fantastic job of putting on a game day event. The atmosphere, you can come and tailgate, and we all know how we love to tailgate in South Louisiana. And it's just a short drive, to come on over, come to the game. It's easy access, in and out, get a good product. And boy, our student athletes love to see when the stands are full and packed and getting loud, and it just makes all the difference in the world for us.
Absolutely, Coach. And right there, you can see, go to nicholstickets.com. They go to 985-448-4790. Certainly want people to know, go and get your season tickets. So well worth it. Great family atmosphere. Come out and tailgate and come and support your Division I school right here at Nicholls State University. So, Coach, thinking about that and talking about that, let's talk a little bit about the summer and how tough it's been with this heat, keeping your players hydrated and keeping them all healthy through the summer?
Yeah, really the second phase of our football program is the beginning of the summer workouts. We finished that spring, Keith. We finish it May, around the beginning of May. The guys go home. They get about 3 weeks to go home, but it's proven. Look, all sports nowadays, it's year round. I mean,
Right.
there's no more just football season, baseball season, or basketball season for all the high school guys. It is year round. You got to be able to do that and keep up and compete. And there's no secret that the more people and the more athletes you can have in the summer, the more success you will have. So we try hard to get all of our athletes here. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes they have to go home and work and do certain things, or they have family obligations. But, we bring 110 players to camp in the fall. And we had a commitment, and I'm telling you, on a regular basis, we had over 90 players here working out through the week. So we talk about that. Every team is different. Also, every summer is different, and the things that we try to do and how we approach. Usually you're going to work out 4 days a week in the summer. We've gone from where we work out on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, with the Wednesday being the off day. We have switched that a little bit, and we go Monday through Thursday. Wow. And you got to get with creative with the scheduling. We went off and had them, they'd have a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They'd have a 3-day weekend, and then be able to get back to work on Monday. We tried to go early in the morning. You got to split the groups up. You try to get the big skills and working in with the skill guys and the linemen, O-line, D-lineman lifting. Then you got to throw in the running and conditioning in there. And we were trying to be done for about 10:30 every morning. That's when that heat really started kicking in. So I thought our coaches did a good job of planning out our schedule, players getting here and executed. And then you also have time that you can work out with them. You can on the field, there's certain number of hours you can go out and have, on field activities, and you can also have meetings with them in the summer. And we did a good job of spacing that out through June and July. And then I can't tell you enough how important it is for the camps that we have on campus here in the summer. It starts off with the O-line, D-line camp. That brings in this year was over 600 offense and defensive alignment from around the state and around the country. And the players that come back and coach it, pro players come back, and our guys get to be a part of it. And then you turn right around and you have the Manning Passing Academy on campus. And then our receivers and quarterbacks get to be a part of that. So that's all part of the summer process that our guys get to go and do.
And look, I got to tell you, doing those summer workouts, you talk about those partnerships. I got to tell you, I don't know that there's a school that's better equipped between that biggest O-line, D-line camp in the country and then having the Manning Passing Academy coming in. We are so very fortunate, and we're not just fortunate. That's part of planning, and that's a credit to what you guys do at Nicholls State University to make sure that we have those groups coming in, partnering with those guys when they can do that, and having those pro players and the exposure that our players here at Nicholls get for that.
Yeah, it's something we don't take for granted and we don't take lightly. When you say the things that we do here, our campus and our administration, to be able to house and feed and have the green space to be able to put on a camp of that magnitude. And it's so good for the community, and so many people step up and come forward. And we're fortunate to have that, and we want to continue to do that for a couple more years to come.
I love it. A lot of good things happening in the spring. Learned a lot last year. A lot of things going on through the summer. We're going to take a short break. But, Coach, when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about some of our players, some of the ones that are looking to be outstanding players, and talk about the schedule a little bit. We'll take a short break and come right back. And so, guys, we want you to do the same thing. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Coach Tim Rebo, Nicholls State University head football coach, when we come back right here on Bayou Time Sports.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrible General Health Systems Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Hello and welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time Sports. Again, your host, Keith Whiteside. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it very, very much. Very glad to have with us in his 9th season at Nicholls State University, head football coach Tim Rebo. Tim, thanks again for joining us.
Yeah, Keith, you keep mentioning that 9th season, man. It seemed like just yesterday we got this thing started. It's flying by.
I know that's right. It's hard to believe that it's been 9, but man, it's been a good learning curve. We've gotten to some really good highs, and looking excited about this year. One of those things is maybe taking a look at some of these action taking place on the field. Tell us a little bit about some of these as we go through these pictures here from summertime.
Yeah, you allow 2 big scrimmages that we have, and you got to plan those out. We usually get the first one after about 8 days of practice. You get in there, and then we come back a week later, and we have our second fall scrimmage, and we usually do that around our huddle up event, which is our race and our cook-off that we just had this past weekend, which is a tremendous for the community, and they get to come out and there's a picture right there of some of our quarterbacks that running balls, running the drills. You only tackle. Listen, you can't go out and bang every day.
Right.
You only get so many tackling opportunities that you can do. And there you see Pat McQuaid right there running a little boot play with Jalen Spears, one of our really, really good running backs. I thought those guys did a good job of getting on the same page, and a little bit of physicality. We be able to get going against each other also. So that was some good. You look at a picture right here. This is Eli Ennis, and Ennis was our freshman of the year in the conference last year, and he was a freshman All-American. So we're excited about him coming back for his second year. Really, really working hard, and he has some bigger sights on being all-conference first team.
Yeah, I got to tell you, looking at the predictions here, they're talking about 10 different all-conference selections from Nicholls. That's really exciting.
Yeah, when you go back and look, we had some guys who played some good football for us, and anytime you can, get recognized by your peers, and that's really, really important. And some guys are moving up, and some guys got to step up. But also tell them this, and we talk about it because we shoot straight from the hip. We try to keep it honest. I said, hey, all these preseason accolades are really good, but the other one is you want to be on the one at the end of the year where you voted that you're all going to be all conference, and then we also want to be the one where we winning it, because then really it doesn't matter who gets first team or second team when you're hoisting that conference trophy.
Right, and that's always the goal. It's a great lead-in, Coach, to talk a little bit about the schedule. I got to say, first and foremost, congratulations that we actually start the season at home. What a unique change here this year, huh?
Listen, I talked to JT, my athletic director, and tell him, man, this is exciting. Usually, it's the end of September or early October, we're coming home, but hey, we get to have a opening game here it was really September, Keith, but we went ahead and moved it up 2 days,
right,
to be August 31st for that Thursday night. And we look back and coaches are so superstitious in things that we do, and we like to look back on things that worked in the past. It was a couple of years ago in 2017, I think, when we started this run.
Right.
We played McNeese on August the 31st. It was a Thursday night game, and it was a big win for the Colonels, and it went on for us to the first run at the playoffs, and then the next 2 years conference championship. So we're kind of building off of that and doing some of the things that we've done. But I'm excited about our schedule. I think it fits good, and people make a big deal about who you play. Listen, all the teams are good.
Right.
Everybody is practicing and doing those things, and we played the big boys before. We're not going to shy away from that. We just got to go play them one game at a time, and then I think early on we can find out who we are and try to build a little bit momentum heading into the conference season.
Right, and of course we're playing Sacramento State there on that Thursday game at home, and that's at Manning Field at John L. Guidry Stadium. And then we got 3 games on the road. We travel a little bit for the next 3 over at TCU, at Tulane, and McNeese. And Tulane's right down the street. But 3 of those away games. Teams really ready and prepared to take it on the road.
Yeah, we feel good. And anytime, like I said, we finished that final scrimmage, and then school started on Monday. So you got to change a little bit. You got to go from your fall camp mode into your game week preparation. And I think our guys are always ready, because you get to a point where you're practicing 20 straight days against each other and beating up on each other. It gets time you're ready for somebody else. You're ready to look for a new opponent to go against. I'll say this. I tell the guys, don't take it for granted. There's nothing like a game day in college football on a campus on a Saturday. And these guys should be excited for it.
Yeah, I love the fact that they're able to go out and really, really lay it on somebody, right? You don't really want to do that on your own team, but you got all this
Right.
energy and all this excitement. It's time to go lay the wood. It's time to go and hit somebody or juke somebody and get into the end zone. Well, we're really looking forward to it, Coach. I got to tell you, I know that we're going to have a better season. We're going to have a better record. We're going to win those closer games. And I know that you and your team are very focused on making those changes, cleaning up the turnovers, finding a way to score, and really making a difference this year. We got about 30 seconds left. Tell us what we are excited most about this year for Nicholls football.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it's all coming together, all three phases of the game. I think we got enough good players returning. Offensively, we still want to be able to run the football and take some shots with some play action passes. I think we can have a chance to be good on defense. We can really run and try to get after you. And look, we have some all-conference kickers that are returning, which is going to be a big part. I told the team this morning about how important special teams are. It's such a big phase of the game, and so much yardage is involved in that. So I'm excited about that. I want the people to come out and support us. We want to put a good product on the field that's going to continue to fight hard, represent Nicholls in the community, and make everyone proud.
Coach Rebo, we can't wait to look forward to it. We'll see you out there on Thursday night. We'll be those cheering us on. We appreciate your time today, Coach.
All right, Keith. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right, and that'll do it for this particular edition of Bayou Time Sports. Don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming right here on HTV.